الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى.
قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قالوا من ذريتي قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني عملا رب زدني عملا رب زدني عملا. My dear respected elders, brothers and sisters who are listening to my speech, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This month, which is known as Dhu'l Hijjah, is more related to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. If you look, you find that in this month we perform Hajj. That is got connection with Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. We sacrifice the animal which is called Udhiyah or Qurbani. That is related to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam too. His mother ran in between Safa and Marwa. His wife ran between Safa and Marwa. Alright, and we will, when we do Hajj, we perform Hajj, we do Umrah, we run between Safa and Marwa too. So basically this month, Dhu'l Hijjah, it's got connection with Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. And if you look at Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam life, seerat biography, you will see that Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, all his life from beginning, from young age, right to the end, he sacrificed things for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every Nabi is obedient, but Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam was in next level obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was in that level that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to say to him, do this, he never questioned Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? What's the hikmah behind this? What's the wisdom behind this? That was the speciality of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Ibrahim is Khalilullah, the friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khalil is higher. One is Habib. Habib means beloved. And Khalil is such level is higher than Habib. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that I am Khalilullah, but if I were to make anyone Khalil of my best friend, my Khalil, it would be Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, I'm Khalilullah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is Habibullah and Khalilullah. But this laqab especially was given first to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Why Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَإِذِ ابْتَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنْ, that we tested Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam various ways. فَأَتَمَّهُنْ, he passed his test, he passed the exam 100%. First, when he was young, he said to his father, oh my father, Ibrahim, Quran says, وَذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ صِدِّيقًا نَبِيًّا إِذْ قَالَ لِأَبِيهِ يَا أَبَتِ لِمَ تَعْبُدُ مَا لَا يَسْمَعُ وَلَا يُبْصِرُ وَلَا يُغْنِي عَنْكَ شَيْئًا يَا أَبَتِ إِنِّي قَدْ جَاءَنِي مِنَ الْعِلْمِ مَا لَمْ يَأْتِكَ فَاتَّبِعْنِي أَهْدِكَ صِرَاطًا سَوِيًّا يا أبت لا تعبد الشيطان إن الشيطان كان للرحمن عصيا يا أبت إني أخاف أن يمسك عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا. Now, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam first test. He starts explaining to his father that whatever you are worshipping, all these idols, remember, Azar, the father of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, was a minister of Namrud. We say Namrud, but the word is Namrud with a Zal. He was the minister of Namrud, and his duty was to have what you call it, factories of idols. So he was the idol maker. So we taught the kids that he was the idol maker, and he manufactured what idols. So he was manufactured gods in their words. Yeah, that was his duty. So Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam says to the father, Quran says his name is Azar. So he says to his father, Ma la yasmu wa la yubsir wa la yughni anka shay'a. You are worshipping such idols, such things, they cannot see, they cannot hear, they cannot do anything. His father realized that my son, is against our idols, and he wants us to worship one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said to his father, don't. You are worshipping what? Shaitan. Don't worship Shaitan. I fear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you. Now, when he tries to do tabligh to his own father, does he lose his respect and adab to his father? No. Even though his father is mushrik kafir, peak of kufr. Yeah, he's manufacturing all the idols. But he says, Ya abati, Ya abati, Ya abati. Ya abati is a very powerful word. I said this before too. It means, oh my beloved father, La ta'bud shaitan. Inna shaitana kana lirrahmani asiya. Ya abati inni akhafu an yamassaka adhabu min ar-Rahman. Fatakuna lishaitani waliya. What does his father say? With all the respect, he's doing tabligh to his father. His father says, قال أراغب أنت عن آليتي يا إبراهيم لئن لم تنتهي لأرجمنك واهجرني مليا. قال السلام. He says to him, all right then, I'll go. سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا. I will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you until, he says in the ayah, وما كان إبراهيم لأبيه إلا موعدة وعدها إياه. Alright? He done it until he was allowed. فلما تبين له أنه عدو لله تبرأ منه إن إبراهيم لأواه حليم. What did Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam say? What did the father of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam say to Azar? His father said to him that if you do not leave our idols, I will kill you, I'll punish you, I'll kick you out. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam say, all right then, I'll go, I'll leave. He's leaving Iraq now. He's getting kicked out of his father's house. He said, I'll leave. But before I leave, I say something. He said, I will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you and take you to Jannah. Unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says no. And in another ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was told that your father is not going to embrace Islam, so he stopped making dua for him. So one lesson over here is, a few lessons. One lesson is that our duty is to spread Tawheed, oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and give tabligh to the ones who are astray. So that tabligh could be first we start from our house, our parents, our children, our neighbors, our brothers, sisters, we do tabligh to them. Even whatever astray they are, we try our best to speak softly. Yeah? Quran says to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, go and give tabligh to him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to who? Fir'aun. But say, layyinal, listen. But make sure your zaban, your tongue is soft. Even to Fir'aun. He says, Ana rabbukum al-ala. He called himself the biggest, what you call God. Yeah? Lord. So, one lesson is that our duty is that anyone who's astray, that every one of us, we have to we do tabligh. It says in Quran, وَمَنْ لَا يُجِبْ دَاعِيَ اللَّهِ فَلَيْسَ بِمُعْجِزٍ يَا قَوْمَنَا أَجِيبُوا دَاعِيَ اللَّهِ وَآمِنُوا بِهِ يَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ. You know, when the jinns came to find out why they could not go to the heavens, they could not listen, they came by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was reading Salat, and they heard what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was reading Quran. So when they went back to the jinns, alright, They said that Ya qawmana ajibu da'i Allah wa aminu bi. They listen to obey the order of the da'i, the caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and bring faith on it. Mufassirin writes under this ayat that for a Muslim is necessary that with amal he has to be a da'i. With amal he has to be a da'i. He has to act on it, but with that he has to call people toward Islam too. And the best way to call people to Islam is through our acts. Through our acts. Our acts, if we are acts is according to Sharia, people will come toward Islam. Not just by tongue. So we call someone for salat. We're not reading salat ourselves. We tell people not to gamble. We're gambling ourselves. We call people to not do interest. We indulge in interest ourselves. So what I'm trying to say is that Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam gives tabligh to his father. Number two, he did not lose respect. He made sure he shows respect to his father, even his father's kafir. Until he was allowed to make istighfar, he tried to make istighfar right to the end. Yeah? But all this sacrifice, he had to sacrifice something. He was kicked out of his house. His father, get out. No help from me. So this is one of the first sacrifices he had to make. Second sacrifice, a lot of sacrifices. He passed, he left, he was kicked out. Sacrifice for tabligh, not easy. Sacrifice for Islam, one of the first. Next sacrifice, they were going for their function. Namrud and his company. All the family is going for a function, and their function was shirk too. They asked Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, I'm not participating. And what he done is, in the meantime, he went inside the mandir, the temple, whatever it was, and he smashed all the idols. He left one of the big one, and he left one, so he can explain to them that he might have done it. So in their mind, if he might have got angry because he was the eldest to the young ones. But they said, they cannot talk. He cannot do anything. Then Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam says, Uffil lakum wa lima ta'buduna min dunillahi afala ta'qilun. Oh, so what's wrong with you guys? They cannot do anything and you're still worshiping. They had no answer to that. So what did they do? قالوا حرقوه وانصروا آلهتكم إن كنتم فاعلين. They said, burn him and help your gods. God's supposed to help us, or we're going to help the God. So this is another test. His own people gathered firewood for about at least 6 months. And they threw Ibrahim, when they lit the fire, they didn't just start, small, make sure everything was lit. And any bird, this is how powerful the fire was. Any bird used to fly over, couldn't fly, used to die, burn. That's how high the fire was. And when they threw Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam inside, you couldn't place him, they had to use the cuttable. Yeah? And they sling that right inside, and Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam falls inside the fire. This is another test. His own family puts him in fire. Did he complain? No, he did not complain. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam never complained of anything. So why was this sacrifice, this test? Why? For deen. For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not easy. Are we ready to make sacrifices for Islam, for deen? We can't sacrifice our sleep. In the morning, Fajr Salat, we cannot come. Hardly 2 safs in our masjid or 3 safs. Because we can't come in the morning, we don't want to sacrifice our sleep. We don't want to sacrifice time for our children because we need to earn dunya. But if we're not going to sacrifice time for our children will turn to kafirs or near to kufr. We don't want to sacrifice anything. We don't want to give anything in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not ready to sacrifice anything for the deen. We are not ready to sacrifice that much. Right? Jummah is a special day. min sha'airillah. Yeah? But we're not ready to dress up properly for Jummah either. We just come in the same clothes we go to work. We don't have no speciality for Jummah, sha'airillah. And this is a very special Jummah today. In Dhu'l Hijjah, innit? And this is the mahbub days of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, best days. But still, we don't make any effort for Jummah either. And if it's a wedding, we get a suit, even though we keep the tax, we return it, but we get a special suit and everything. Because this is a wedding. But no, we don't make effort for any Jummah. No sacrifice. So this is the second, one of the other sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. That he was thrown in the fire. Allah subhanahu made the fire beautiful for him. Not too cold, not too warm. But still sacrificed Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, no children. In his old age, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him a child called Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. Ismail is older than Ishaq alayhi salatu wasalam. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him a child, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, now migrate with your child and your wife Hajar. Go to Makkatul Mukarramah. In Makkatul Mukarramah is غَيْرِ ذِي زَرْعٍ عِنْدَ بَيْتِكَ الْمُحَرَّمِ. Quran says is nothing there at that time. You know, you can see all the buildings, 5-star buildings, there was nothing that time. No water, no nothing. Not even the Kaaba was there. The Kaaba was raised up in the time of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. So the foundation was covered with what? Sand and everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, take them there. After days of traveling in those days, he reached there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, leave Hajar and leave Ismail here and go back. Go back. Without even informing them, he starts walking back. His wife is calling him, Hajar. What are you doing? You're leaving us alone in this desert. I've got a newborn child. Then suddenly she says, did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you? He says, yes. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly ordered him, he did not even hesitate that much to tell his wife, I have to go because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him. He starts moving straight away. And when she asks, he tells her yes. He leaves his child, wife there. He sacrificed. He didn't say what they're going to eat, what they're going to drink, how they're going to survive, what's going to happen in the desert. No. Sacrifice a child and a wife newborn, who is still in maternity days, in the fast day. And he leaves her there. He moves down straight away. This is another sacrifice. Every sacrifice Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has preserved it. Then comes another sacrifice. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيَ قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ إِنِّي أَرَىٰ فِي الْمَنَامِ أَنِّي أَذْبَحُكَ فَانْظُرْ مَاذَا تَرَىٰ. That he sees in his dream, which is wahi, that he has to sacrifice his son. He's doing the amal sacrifices. And the son, Quran says, Ma'usaya is that age that he can run around, either 7 or 13, whatever his age was. He had the ability to run around, old. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, now sacrifice him, he takes him to Mina and he does the act of sacrificing, slaughtering. This is another test of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. It goes on. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam has been through all these tests, all these qurbani sacrifices. And Quran says, فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ. He has completed all these sacrifices. What is the main lesson? Look at all the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Every Nabi has been through sacrificing. Some of them had to admit that their son is kafir, he's going to go to Jahannam. Some of them had to admit their father is kafir and they have to go to Jahannam. Some of them had to admit that the uncle who sacrificed everything for them is kafir, he has to go to Jahannam. That's a sacrifice. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was beaten. He was stoned, he was pelted in Taif. Jibreel Amin comes, he says, if you want to, I will smash them in between the two mountains. He said, no. I will make dua, from their children Muslim will come. Allah give them tawfiq to come Muslim. The conclusion of my speech today is that nothing will come if we want the rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the rida and pleasure only will come when we sacrifice something. You know, if someone says, I want my son to come a hafiz, he's not going to come, or she's not going to come a hafiza by coming 1 hour, 2 hours to the masjid, or not waking up early. That kid and the parents and the teacher has to sacrifice time, give time, and make sure that they do everything right. Without sacrifice, nothing happens. No one could come a alim and a mufti or anything or qadi until they sacrifice something. No one could come a doctor or engineer or anything, any good, any title without sacrificing something. So just like that, if we cannot achieve anything in this dunya without sacrificing, we cannot achieve the pleasure and the rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until we sacrifice those things that we love for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This month is all about sacrificing. It has to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
الله لا إله إلا